Hi, I'm Val Hart, the real Dr. Doolittle, and today I'm talking with Kay Aubrey-Chimene. She is a bio-nutritional consultant and the owner and director of Grand Adventures Ranch. She operates a holistic equine wellness and cancer recovery center in Sonoyta, Arizona, and she also works, and this is what we're going to talk about today, animal cleansing and detoxification. So welcome, Kay.
Well, thank you very much, Val. I'm glad to be here.
I'm delighted you're here, too. So how in the world did you get started working with animal cleansing and detoxification? That's such an interesting topic.
The more I got involved with both my own animals and my own body when I was very sick back in the 90s, the more I learned, the more I realized that I needed to detox, that I was full of environmental poisons from everything around me. And that the dogs that I had that always seemed to have allergies and were covered with sores, and that the horses that I had that were getting bitten by flies, and all of those things directly related back to being toxic and having my body overwhelmed with environmental poisons. I started learning for myself and for my horses and for my dogs, and then I was working at dog shows for 6 or 7 years doing body work on people and their dogs and so on. And the number one thing that everybody asked, and the number one reason that people take their dogs to the vet is allergies.
Yep.
And what I learned is it's not really allergies. What happens is when the organs of elimination, the liver, the kidneys, the lungs are overwhelmed, every little thing overwhelms the immune system and it over-responds. Any little allergen at that point, anything that might normally we would just pick up a Kleenex, blow out, and we're done, now is amplified and the body takes over and reacts to it tenfold. We're much more itchy. We produce more mucus. We blow up more. And when we clean out the organs of elimination and help support and balance the immune system, those things go away.
Wow. Makes so much sense to me. And, my dog is also having some allergies right now, so I'm very, very interested in what you have to say. What do you see when you work with dogs that are sick or animals who are toxic?
Well, the number one thing we see is skin issues, right?
Yeah.
Which there's only 4 ways to get junk out of the body. We pee it out, we poop it out, we breathe it out. And if those can't do it, you get shunted out the lymph system to the biggest organ, which is the skin. One day I had some clients come into my booth at a dog show up in Phoenix with a sweet golden retriever named Goldie. And Goldie was older, and she literally had huge, bigger than my hand size, open running sores, probably 8 or 10 of them at that point.
Okay.
And she'd been going through this for like a year and a half, and somebody told her to come see me at this dog show. Obviously, she wasn't entered in the show looking like that.
No. Yeah.
And they had been through the wars. Their veterinarians had done everything from putting her on massive amounts of steroids and antibiotics. They tried every different food known to man, duck and potato, kangaroo, fish, chasing proteins that would not cause her body to overreact.
Yeah.
So what we did at that day, we started stopping putting the poisons in, because every one of those foods that the veterinarians were putting her on were still chemically preserved. They were made with grains, and dogs don't even produce amylase. They're not designed to eat grain or starch at all. So, and unfortunately, most of the grains that get put into commercial pet foods are what had so many chemicals or so much mold in them that they couldn't be used in human food. So all of that was going into her, and that was causing her to overreact.
Yeah.
Poor thing, she was half bald and half hamburger.
God.
With some long kind of beige hair in between, and she was just miserable.
Yeah.
We started just by putting her on a raw food diet, a diet that replicated what she'd eat in nature.
Okay.
Vegetables, chicken, turkey, really good, healthy, human-grade foods. And then we started detoxing her body. We used some homeopathics that would clean the blood, some Silicea, some Arsenica album. we did some chlorophyll. We put her on blue-green Allergies, very concentrated chlorophyll, that blue-green Allergies actually pull aflatoxins, those molds, back out of the liver, and they oxygenate the blood and help the lymph system start healing and cleaning.
Okay.
And we started doing some clay, both topically. We were putting clay on these huge sores, actually look like a tornado coming out of the body. You know, kind of that spiral down in.
Goodness.
We started putting clay on there, and the stuff that came out of her actually was this brownish muck that smelled really badly, and they were doing this a couple times a day. Within 30 days, every sore in her body had cleared up.
Wow.
Within 90 days, she was dark reddish gold.
Wow.
We also put her on full nutrition. We put her on a really good broad-spectrum vitamin mineral supplement.
Okay.
You know, we added to her diet. We let her body heal itself
Okay.
and just got the stuff out of the way.
Wow.
They also, at that point, stopped using things like Heart Guard and topical flea and tick remedies. So here she had these sores all over her body, and they were putting poison right back on her skin.
Yeah.
So we stopped doing all of those things. And, you know, I'm happy to say that a year later she came back to that same show and looked 5 years younger.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
We've seen that same process change dogs with diabetes.
Okay.
You know, cats with thyroid issues or cats with urinary tract infections.
Okay.
Horses with Cushing's disease and laminitis issues. I mean, detoxification is key.
Yeah.
You know, and even if we go to the best diet, the best organic diet out there, there's still environmental toxins around us. We can't get away from them.
Yeah.
So doing regular cleansing is so important.
What are the benefits of regular detoxing? What would we expect to see by doing that?
Well, first and foremost, lowered vet bills. There's the best reason.
Oh, I like that.
Never seeing the veterinarian, okay?
I like that.
But also, you know, a stronger immune system.
Okay.
Better digestion. When the digestive tract is clean, it assimilates food better. So the animals don't have to eat as much.
Okay.
All right? They're healthier. They eliminate better. We don't have the nasty gas. We don't have the diarrhea. We see animals with better energy maintenance and, of course, longer lives.
Right. Longer quality lives, not just longer
quality lives.
Painful.
That's right.
You know,
with 1 out of every 2 dogs in this country now dies with cancer.
Really? Oh my gosh.
And cats are almost that high.
Yeah.
So when you have over a 50% cancer rate, you know something's wrong here. We are toxifying these animals. Right. And most commercial pet foods, you know, your typical owned by the big 5 food conglomerates, Mars, Colgate, Heinz, Procter & Gamble, those things. Your basic grocery store pet foods are agri-waste with chemicals on them. So they are really, really shortening our dogs' lives. And sometimes sometimes that's all we can afford. I understand that.
Yeah.
So what can we do to offset that? It'd be better if we could go to a better diet, but let's say we can't. Let's do some regular cleansing and detox.
Okay.
Okay. Or if you're rescuing a dog and you don't know what they've gotten in the past.
Yeah, sure. Well, no idea. Yeah. So Kay, what's the best way to detox our animals then? What can we do?
Well, first and foremost, stop putting toxins in.
Okay.
And I know that sounds silly, but that's where you start. Check your quality of water. If you're on city water, you might want to go with an RO machine, just both for yourself and your animals. If you're on RO and you're not giving it to your dog and cat, you're doing them a real disservice. Okay. Really do some research and look for the good quality foods. We are so fortunate now in the last 10 to 15 years, there are more and more really good quality pet foods out there. And you have to go to their website to really see, do they commit to human-grade ingredients? Do they commit in writing to no chemical preservatives?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Are they really doing, and or make your own. And there's guidelines on my website for how to do your own simple raw diet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
All right. For dogs and cats, I really recommend what we call a biologically appropriate raw diet, foods that replicate what Mother Nature fed them, along with a good broad spectrum vitamin mineral supplements. So we know there's no holes in the diet.
Okay.
And with horses, same thing, that they get a good grass forage diet, lots of time out, good water, and grains only when they need them. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then to start detoxing, my favorite way is to use zeolite products. It's very gentle. Zeolites are a clay that actually have a very, very powerful little magnetic cage that binds up heavy metals, bacteria and yeast and virus and long-chain undigested proteins out of the gut, out of the bloodstream, and pull them out of the body very gently.
Okay.
And one of the biggest toxins that we see are heavy metals.
Okay. Yeah.
When testing was done, Dr. Gene Dodds did quite a bit of pet food testing a number of years ago, and the aluminum and mercury and other heavy metal toxicities in these pet foods was just criminal, okay? Being able to pull those heavy metals out gently can help the body get rid of a whole host of other problems because they're no longer bogged down.
Okay.
That makes sense. They're not overwhelmed with aluminum and nickel and mercury and lead and so on.
Okay.
And zeolites are a very cost-effective way of doing that. Probably my favorite product right now is one produced by Vivo Animals, V-I-V-O.
Okay.
A veterinarian named Aaron Zanzow produced this product.
Okay.
And they make a product called Vivo Zeo Complete. So Zeolite Complete.
Hold on. Vivo Zeo. V-I-V-O Z-E-O Complete.
Complete.
Got it. Okay. Go ahead.
And that has not only the zeolite in it, but also a broad range of antioxidants, cordyceps and reishi mushrooms, CoQ10, things to strengthen the immune system, strengthen and balance the circulatory system, help with carrying off all of that, material that the zeolites is pulling out. It's a very gentle way to do it.
Okay.
We've used this to great success. We had a wonderful mare come into our center October before last, about a year and a half ago, with what's DSLD, which is a degenerative suspensory ligament disease. All of the ligaments and tendons in the body become like overstretched elastic, where they, you just won't ever tighten up again.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's considered irreversible and incurable, and it's incredibly painful. So she reached us on so many pain meds just to get her here that without them she couldn't stand at all, and with them she could stand up for about 20% of the day.
Okay. Oof.
We started doing a lot of photopuncture to help balance her and body work, and we started detoxifying her first with the Vivo Zeo Complete. And the difference in her over the next 90 days was dramatic.
Wow.
Today, except for some misshaping of her pasterns and knees in the front legs, you would not know this horse had ever been sick.
Wow. Oh, how wonderful.
And we did a lot of other things for her, but the primary thing we did over the next 6 months was we continued to detox,
Wow.
help the body carry away a whole bunch of glycoproteins that had built up in the tissues. Just kept going, kept her gut getting going. Then she was able to utilize all of the better minerals that she was getting, the vitamins and so on. But when she first came in, she wouldn't even eat.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Her poop looked like goat poop.
Ooh.
Little tiny little deer pellets.
Good Lord.
All right, out of a full-grown 1,000-pound horse.
Goodness gracious. Oh, so she was so stuffed like a sausage of toxins that she couldn't put any in and she couldn't eliminate them.
Exactly.
Right, couldn't move it through. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we kept opening up her bladder channel with acupressure and light.
Okay.
And then we kept detoxifying her. That is one of the simplest ways for the general person to do this, who may not know how to do acupressure or photopuncture or acupuncture, right?
Right.
It's something that anybody can do. Most animals will eat. Yeah, the Vivo Zeolite Complete.
Okay. Yeah.
There's other things that we use bentonite clays, we use blue-green algae, we do a lot of different things. But in general, my favorite place to start is just with those zeolites.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense to me. So, Kay, are there negative side effects from detoxification that people need to know about?
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Many people have heard of the term healing crisis.
Yes.
Well, this is what happens when you try to get healthy too fast, especially if the organs of elimination are still very, very toxic. And suddenly you go on a cleanse, but your body can't process out those toxins because the kidneys and liver are overwhelmed. You will feel horrible, and so will your dog or your horse or your cat or your emu. Cleansing too quickly when you have not already supported and cleaned out the organs of elimination can be a problem, which is one of the reasons why I like the zeolite. It's binding it up and carrying it out for you.
Right.
So we may do some things. I like raw apple cider vinegar in the drinking water to help flush the kidneys.
Okay.
We'll do some liver stuff. I love a tea by the Amazon Herb Company called Amazon Herb Treasure Tea.
Okay.
And it has a lot of things that flush the kidneys and flush the liver and bring up the immune system. Those are really good ways to detoxify even our dogs and cats and horses before we do maybe ozone or, if a horse or dog comes in very, very sick, we may have to go into cleansing very quickly. But we really, on a general, for the lay person, you don't want to have to do that. Just do a simple, easy way.
Okay, that makes sense. Do animals need a special diet while they're taking the Vivo Zeo Complete or the zeolite and going through this?
Not so much a special diet, but what I was talking about before, a healthy diet. But one of the things I always recommend, especially when we may do things that upset the tummy, I always like to add good probiotics.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I'm a big fan of activated liquid probiotics that go to work immediately. My favorite is one called Dynamite Dynapro, the probiotic, because especially in our dogs and cats, they have a very, very short digestive tract.
Okay.
And if you just put powdered acidophilus or powdered probiotics into their food, it's going to go right back out the other end before it's ever had a chance to activate and set up housekeeping.
Okay, that makes sense.
You want to look for probiotics that have the term fermentation product. So they've already fermented and started growing.
Okay.
All right. The best picture of that is if you've ever made bread, you don't just throw the yeast into the bread, right? You have to proof it first.
Right. It has to trigger. It has to.
Yeah, exactly. It has to start growing. And so we proof it with warm milk and sugar. Well, for the beneficial organisms in the digestive tract, the proofing is B vitamins and certain minerals and so on that establish the right food and the right pH balance.
Okay, got it.
So, without that, it's just like throwing the powdered yeast into the bread. It's not going to do anything.
Okay, got it. All right. How long do they need to cleanse? What's the timeline on that?
Well, one of my mentors, the guideline that I was given, and it's always stayed pretty true for me, was for every year that a person or an animal has been on an unhealthy diet, they need to cleanse for 1 month.
Okay.
Now, I've found that animals tend to do a better job and cleanse faster than we do.
Okay.
Primarily because they eat whatever we give us, whereas we kind of tend to sabotage our own cleanses. But
oh no, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will always recommend a minimum of 90 to 120 days. Okay. That's what it takes to turn the blood over.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay. And
then
explain that term. I'm not familiar with turning the blood over. What does that mean?
Well, for the blood to completely circulate through the body, all cells having circulated, for all nutrients and so on to have made it into all the different cells and all toxins to have been able to be pulled out by clean blood.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. And if any new nutritional program that I ever put somebody on, it's like I give it 120 days to really evaluate it. You don't know what it can do for you until at least 90 to 120 days.
Okay.
Now, if it really isn't working out, if it's a real problem, you'll know it before then. But to see all the benefits of something, you'll see within that time frame. Okay. And then on detoxing, again, it kind of depends on how fast you go, how toxic has the body been before. And, if I've got a basically healthy animal, I'll probably do a cleanse for about 21 days, at least once a year.
So they wouldn't have to be doing this forever?
Oh, no. No, not at all.
Right. And so is there a maintenance kind of thing in the meantime? Or, other than obviously feeding a good diet?
Well, we do either like the Vivo Zeo Complete or Dynamite makes a fabulous product called Dynamite Herbal Tonic.
Okay.
Which for the horses, we use it for horses, dogs, and cats, and it's a broad spectrum herbal cleanser. It's called a wormer. It doesn't really act as a wormer. It doesn't kill the worms. It makes the host a very inhospitable place for the parasites to be by alkalizing the digestive tract, changing the pH, changing the food to where the beneficial flora is stronger, and then using anti-parasitical herbs like burdock root, all sorts of things, black walnut, etc., that drive the parasites out. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's the thing with parasites. They go where they can find a happy place. And if our bodies are not a happy place for a parasite, then guess what? They don't want to live there.
The best protection against fleas and ticks is a strong immune system and a clean liver.
Yeah. So, wow, this is great. Do you have other resources available for people to find out more about this, or how would they contact you?
Well, there's lots of articles on our website, which is grandadventuresranch.com.
Okay.
But they also can email me, Kay, K-A-Y, at grandadventuresranch.com.
Okay.
And if they're listening to this call and they mention this call, we'll be happy to give them a free half-an-hour consult for their animal.
Wow, that's great. Thank you. Okay.
And then also, for any listener to this call, we'll be happy to give them a 15% discount on their first order of Vivo Zeo Complete.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you so much. Okay, so to contact you, they can go to your website at grandadventuresranch.com. They can email you at k@grandadventuresranch.com, and you're offering a free half-hour animal health consultation. That's so cool. I'm so glad, and you can sign me up for that right now. And you're also offering a 15% off. It's Vivo Zeo Complete, zeolite-based cleanser and antioxidant support product, if they mention that they heard about this on the Dr. Doolittle show. I love that. Thank you so much, Kay.
You're welcome.
I think everybody who has animals needs to know this is such critical information. It's so fundamentally important. And if we'll pay attention to it and learn and do the things we need to do, then we don't have to suffer the pain of watching an animal die tragically and painfully and prematurely. Right?
That's right.
And this just makes so much sense to me. Okay, how long is that offer good for? Just so we want our callers to take action here.
Great. Thank you for asking me that. The offer's good through September 31st of 2010.
Okay. All right. So everybody listening, get on the stick here and contact Kay. Set up your health consultation for your animals. And, I think that's a great deal on the Vivo Zeolite Complete because it just makes so much sense. Zeolite is such an amazing product. So
it really is.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so delighted to learn about it. You mentioned the quality foods, that there are some quality commercial types of foods out there. Do you have any that you could mention by name that folks can start looking at?
I would probably say at the very, very top of the pile are foods such as Paw Natural Raw, which is a certified organic raw food for dogs and cats.
Okay.
The really good kibbles and so on. Again, I think the best is when you can get raw or raw coatings. Nature's Variety Instinct, which is grain-free. The Wellness Core, which is grain-free. Okay. Origin, which is a marvelous food. Taste of the Wild. All of these are ones that have come up in the last 5 or 10 years that really have gone over and above. Much better foods. Check and see who owns the food. Check and look at their website.
Okay.
Do some research on what's available to you in your area.
Okay.
But honestly, the very, very best is to make it yourself. It doesn't have to be complicated. For dogs, we're looking at about 75% raw meat and bones and 25% vegetables.
Okay.
And cats are really almost 90 to 95% raw meat and bones. Very little vegetable needed. They're really of a true carnivore.
Okay. I know cats can't process carbs, so any grains in a diet for a cat would not work for them. In fact, I think it contributes to things like diabetes, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the big fat tummies and the fatty tumors that we see, dogs and cats both, neither one has any amylase in their saliva or in their pancreatic enzymes.
Okay.
This tells us that biologically, genetically, they were never designed to eat starch. The only starches they really ever got were the grains that maybe they could bring down a rabbit. The rabbit ate grasses that had gone to seed and had some grain on the end. The rabbit's stomach had the amylase in it.
Right. Yeah,
so
and it's already partially digested.
Exactly.
Right.
It's partially digested already.
Correct. Oh, that makes so much sense. Okay, good. That was my question. Thank you. Oh, I love this. Okay. Again, everybody, go check in with Kay. Email her at kay@grandadventuresranch.com. Better health to you and your animals. That's what I want to say. Oh, gosh. Yeah, anything else you want to leave us with before we close it off?
No, just be healthy, eat healthy, and take as good a care of yourself as you do your animals.
Thank you. Yeah. Boy, that's the truth. Okay. Well, thanks, Kay. And I'm looking forward to hearing more from you and learning more about what else you do.
Thanks, Val.
Thanks, Kay. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.